Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game that we're actually playing for once.
Oh shit!
I know.
Oh,
Also,
fuck.
my hair is in cursive today. Don't know how it happened, but we're keeping
I
it.
was telling Logan before he has strong Doctor Strange vibes. Today.
Yep, I have those.
Like the beard shows like almost
Grow out your beard.
What do you think I'm doing?
Yes.
So I look like a cursed person. I didn't shave here, it just doesn't grow there. Genetics are a fucked up thing.
Yep. It's okay. At least you can grow something on your face.
So today we are joined by Spinkus,
Eh?
Paulo,
Eh?
Eh?
and
Oh.
Terry.
Sure.
Do you work with a guy named
I
Terry?
do. He's the other tech guy.
I knew that.
You did?
No, I
Okay,
forgot.
I've mentioned
I may
before.
have known.
Eh?
Hi, I'm Paul.
No, you're Paulo. I'm Ed.
We're not watching Nickelodeon. Shut up.
I'm Colton from Game Grumps.
Jimmy Neutron. Oh, that's right.
Hi, I'm Ed, and you're watching Disney Channel. Da, 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 da,
I drew a penis.
da. No! Don't do that.
Ah.
Alright guys, Disney
No,
Channel is not for kids. Make sure to check mark it.
You're
Papa's gonna
like,
get us.
Clark Kent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need to, like,
Cal the
the
God,
world.
$4.99 at work and won't be able to watch. Don't forget to Stan Spencer.
Well, fuck you.
What is the Stan meme? What is that?
You what? How do you not know what that is?
It's-
Don't know what that
Oh
is.
my god!
It's a
you
mix between
goddamn
stalker
boomer.
and fan.
I've heard it.
That's all
I've
it
heard
is.
it a couple of times, and I think
It's an Eminem song. It's like it's this dude that like loves him a lot, and he's like his
You
name
never-
is Stan.
Why are they memeing that now?
It's
Okay.
not now, dude.
It's
It's
been
been
for,
years,
I have
man.
never
And
seen
it's,
it
there's
before.
like when you like
last
stan
week.
somebody, it's like you are an ultimate fan.
I have genuinely never
It's a
seen that
It's a cross between stalker and fan.
I have
I'm not sure
genuinely
that was his
never
actual
seen
name,
that.
but
since
Too
like
big of a fan.
last week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
I
I'm
saw
gonna
that
kill
like
my
a month
wife.
ago.
Well, it's like a meme kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I saw that I saw it for the first time like a week and a half ago, so I would have never made that association.
okay, boomer.
go watch my video about the Shadowfell. That just came out and it's pretty good.
Ooh, does it have the?
It's the end of my
That's
advertising.
cool. I'm actually gonna
Does it
watch
have
that.
what you sent me yesterday in it?
Yes,
Go
one
watch
of
it.
them.
Go.
Because the other one wasn't what I wanted, but it made me real
Cal got
happy.
$4.99. Happy announce. I now stand Logan's curse.
Ah, shoot.
Nice.
Thanks, man. It's a little weird. But
Oh, there it is.
I can't find the
Pass it over.
halfling mini, so I'm gonna be a grump.
a
A grung?
a
I thought you said a
grunk,
grump.
a grump.
Oh, that's my fooded.
My
Because we're regular people, guys. And we
I
want
thought
food.
we were
We
confined
eat just
to a
like
specific
you.
universe. We don't eat.
Like that podcast episode where we're just like, we don't exist outside of this.
Yeah, it's just
So that guy that opened the door looked past me, went, and then handed me my food.
What?
yeah. We
He
just
probably
started
saw
firing
the
Yeah, he
people.
saw the
Yeah,
stream.
It's like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah, weird fucking people.
weird.
What if that dude had it up on his phone, and then he walked and he was like, "What the?"
It's
You
just
imagine
Craig.
You were watching like a stream,
Oh.
and then
Love
you
Craig.
delivered to somebody's house, and you were like,
This
"Wait!"
is them.
And they all look at you like,
Look at your phone.
"Holy fuck!" That's it. Yeah, that's what it is. Your hair is in italics.
Oh
That's a good one. Yeah.
Cursive italics, Arial bold, bubblegum sands.
You're right,
We-
Cadet Satan. Logan's Twitter is beautiful.
So D&D?
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a thing.
We're-
we have
we're-
some patrons.
Oh
we
yeah,
did?
we gotta shout those
Yeah,
out. I
Logan,
didn't
where are
prep
the
those.
patrons?
Mama Love and Papa Joy.
I'll get it.
We
Yep,
know that
Mama
one.
Love and Papa Joy, and Ostimo, I
But
think.
now you're forced to stall.
Yeah, now we get to stall a little bit
Turbot.
more. To jump back to where we were, because I run this
Turbot.
game like chapters in a book with two different groups. You know, have you heard of Game of Thrones, season 1 through 5? Yeah, me too. It works like that.
That's
We're-
actually weirdly accurate because after season 5, it's
I
only
just
like
picked a
one
random
character
number.
perspectives.
Oh. I've only seen to season 3. Well,
Don't watch past season 5.
You don't have to watch
No,
past season
no.
5. You don't have to
just,
do that.
Just come
you
up
know,
with your own ending in your head.
okay.
I just realized that season 5
I'm gonna
was the most
think of something
depressing.
absurd. Like the whole city's just burned.
Hmm?
That's how I think I want it to end.
Oh.
Something weird like
Holy
that.
guys, we're up to
Everyone does.
about $50
Not
on
too
Patreon.
wrong. There.
Stop it.
No, I know that was a joke. We're going back to the other party
stand on
from
pizza.
season 1. They're back. I'm sorry if you're joining us now and you haven't watched the backlog.
Big shout out to, and also
Chaos.
big shout out because we're up to $150 on the Patreon now, which is awesome, guys. Thank you so much. To Turobot, Mama Lovin', Papa Joy, Josh Travis, Arthur Souza, Joshua Jones, Mario Sack, Ostimo the Slow, Mike Salmon, Sam Fox, Generic Jackal, and Cal the God. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Now let's play that game that you kind of pay us to do. Jumping back to the old party from season 1, you are revisiting what is essentially the ruins of your tomb. Jacob's frozen, but Spencer seems to be fine. I guess we're going to work with it.
Okay.
You can't hear him anymore. His mic stopped working too. 6, please don't attack the bag. They're in a
How was I not
big-ass
breathing?
crab.
Yes, we are.
Scene.
Remember when I drew it? I went back to the old episode and I was watching some of it. For some reason, I just like drew the giant crab and I was like, is this what it looks like? And you were like, Anyways.
You're all standing in at the bottom of a very slanted chamber with the divided corpse of a small gnome and a lot of very strange feelings.
Would you consider us underground?
No, you're above sea level. Just barely.
I meant for like playlist.
Oh, sure. You're in a
Like-
dungeon,
like the
essentially.
dungeon music? Okay,
yeah.
sure.
You're the second. You are downstairs, essentially, of where it used to be.
Okay. And we just got done with that fight, right?
Yeah. Give me a second.
And then they ran away like little babies.
Hey,
You were
does anybody know how to make fire?
A3.
Can you just burn that? And I point over to the gnome. It'll make me feel better. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna describe the scene again really quick, then you
Yeah,
guys can
please
go.
do.
This laboratory is very difficult to traverse and is lined with makeshift shelves covered in research material. Some parts of the wall has indents, and what used to be the floor has a drainage grate that can be easily climbed. Most of the shelves have fully prepared augments for the sea folk who have now abandoned this layer. Among the materials are piles of raw flesh, vials, and tubes filled with strange fluids or pickled creatures. In one particular tube is what looks like a 3-inch tall humanoid floating in a green fluid.
That's right.
That's right.
With the addition of a gnome.
So you just want me to burn him?
Yeah.
Won't it stink in here?
What?
Won't it stink?
We don't have to. Never mind.
Okay.
Can those of you giving him any attention make me perception checks?
To the gnome?
Yes. Whichever half you prefer to observe.
I am definitely not
Dirty 20.
looking at the gnome, which I so
Yeah.
gracefully chopped in half last episode.
Wow, I love this new die. Natural 20.
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Shit.
Both of you don't really pay the gnome any mind as you are in a strange state of shock revisiting this location. It's a lot to take in, and having recovered from Clayton's recent events,
Yeah.
you're all in a bit of a daze. However, the two of you do see that he is wearing what looks like stolen goods and pieces of separate uniforms from both the Black Knights and another, what are they called? Another group.
What
You recognize this other group as the Paladins of the Archons.
Oh.
It seems as though he has taken trophies from contracts on either side. You didn't know him personally, but he did have a faint reputation, probably on par with yours, before you left.
Okay.
I just yeeted him in one shot.
Yep. Yes, you did.
Oh yeah. What? I'll tell you. What was it? Remind me not to mess with you or make you mad. By the way. Moving on. I'm gonna go search his body real quick. See if he has anything important or anything interesting on him.
I don't have the DM's guide. I could have sworn it was here.
Oh, they're over there.
Can
Kim
you
brought all the books back. I
grab
used them
me one of
yesterday.
those
Sorry
really
about
quick?
that. Just-
Wherein lies another brief hiatus. I hope you enjoy this time. It is sponsored by Coca-Cola and Cheetos.
It's definitely
Both
not.
of those things are false.
We're not.
It is instead sponsored by Easy Roller Dice.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, we're
Oh
still
yeah.
sponsored by Easy Roller Dice.
I am also sponsored by them now.
Oh.
Are you really?
Yeah. I
Well,
just
we need to
had
get our
take
links
the
up
time.
on this thing and actually be
Yeah.
sponsored by
I have
them.
it.
Do that.
It's in the description every episode.
Oh.
Code, what was it 900 XP, no caps.
Excuse you.
Or
His tracking
something
link.
related to the runesmith.
Oh man, that die was so
Yeah,
I'm still-
easy to roll.
I'm still setting aside
Oh.
when we're doing it,
Oh.
so it'll be this month.
Coming
If
soon.
you want to get a probably better deal than you're gonna get here,
Roll
check
me
Logan's channel.
1d4.
4.
Okay. Everybody roll me percentage.
Ooh, everybody. Come on,
Everybody clap your
100%.
hands.
Come on. Ah.
Yeah.
You're the only
What'd you
one
get?
that matters.
1.
What's the double 0?
1%?
Double zero is
That's
100.
Dude.
No, it's not 100. It's
Zero,
0
zero,
and
zero,
1.
zero.
No, you got 100 though, right?
I got 2 zeros and a 7.
That's 7.
That's 7.
That's
7.
2 zeros and a 0 is 100.
Okay.
I thought you meant all zeros.
Ambrose?
12.
Oh my god. I rolled higher than all 3 of you combined.
And you?
68.
I wanted 100.
What
but
the
I
fuck
didn't
is
get what I
that?
wanted.
As you're patting him down, you don't find anything significant above specifically designed and very diminutive daggers to fit his stature.
You know that it's gonna be
I just
great.
realized the dice are right next to my mic. I'm so sorry if that was really loud.
You know that it's gonna be great when the DM looks at what he's like trying to find, and he just looks at it and he just goes, "What the fuck is that?"
Yep. Yep.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna start messing around with things more on the stream because I
Okay.
found out I can compress things through
Really?
Streamlabs itself.
Awesome.
You find 3 glass jars. One of them has a thick, non-translucent fluid, and 3 others have a very familiar bubbling red.
Oh, what's the red?
Uh,
Do you want a sticky note?
you can essentially conclude that this is likely some kind of healing potion.
Oh, okay. And then what was the first one?
All right.
It is a thin
Each one
glass
has one
jar,
person that does that.
3 inches in diameter. Roll me 1d4.
4.
Okay. It has 5 doses. Make a note of that.
Kind of funny because I'm driving a truck today.
Yeah, I know, I saw
Of the
that.
green
My
liquid?
car doesn't
Of
start.
the
So my dad's like,
non-translucent.
"Can you use the
It
truck and I'll get
is.
fixed." Thanks, man.
It's not just your old.
It is green. It's a very dark, thick green.
My old truck with the transmission died. My dad fixed that too. I know nothing about cars.
You pull these 3 bottles off of the deceased gnome. The rest of you,
All right.
as he
He was
is,
the only one that found some.
he ducked down to search it. Yes.
Oh, got it.
Cool, cool, cool. So,
Man, it's a good thing we didn't set that guy on fire. But those 2 things were back.
What'd you find?
Some weird green liquid and some probably healing potions.
All right.
I'm
You know
gonna
what they
start
are?
looking through the shelves.
Oh, no idea.
Okay.
So it's gonna be exciting finding out what they are.
I can try to find out if they're poison.
Ooh! I hand you the green one.
I know how poison works. I'll take the green one,
Me too.
Logan, and uncork it.
Okay.
And if I can, I would like to use my poisoner's kit to try to find out if this is poison or identify what the poison is.
there's
Okay.
a poisoner's kit? That's fucking cool.
And rogues get it.
I know basically nothing about that.
Yeah. Go ahead and
About
roll
the
me
tools
knowledge
for
of. This would be nature, I would assume.
Legit, Cat is proficient in dice, poisoner's kit, and thieves' tools.
Wow.
Makes a lot of
Proficiency
sense.
with poisoner's kit, then.
Uh,
Whatever ability that
Yeah, I
uses
believe it's
intelligence.
yeah, intelligence plus proficiency. So
Yes.
that's a big ol' +6. 18.
Okay.
Good roll.
You do recognize some of the faint ingredients and the odor of aioli or ale. How do you say that?
Aioli is
Is
like
it
a, it's like a
A-L-O-E?
butter
I was right.
greasy thing.
Aloe.
Aloe.
Aloe,
Yeah,
there you go.
like aloe vera. Don't know why I forgot that. It does smell faintly like aloe.
Garlic? Nope.
Cactus.
Cactus. Yep. It smells like a
Is that what
aloe.
Yes,
I did-
like some kind of salve. It's
If I-
very clearly not poisonous.
This is not poison. It seems to be some sort of salve.
If I dip my finger in it and heat a little bit. Will that use one of the uses?
Yes.
Gosh darn it. All right then. I'll take it in my bag.
They're not cacti.
They're lilies.
There's a fern.
They're a succulent, but also a member of the lily family.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Lily's just
You-
And
Second.
It's a good name.
We run through here.
all right. I don't want to talk about what just happened. I'm gonna go check out what that little guy is because I've seen him a couple times, and each time I'm curious.
What
But
little guy?
The little guy in the jar over there. Do you see him? He's like right there.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, every time I come in, there's always somebody to stop me from checking that guy out. So I kind of want to see what he is.
I'm already looking through all the books
Yeah.
on the bookshelf.
You are looking through some of the tomes. There aren't too many here. Most of them seem to be specific materials that she was working with at one time. Now you see things like bandages, candlesticks, a lot of little potions, oils and stuff. A lot of dried flesh and worked flesh. Some of it pulsates in an odd, uncomforting way. You do see a few scrolls and tomes. None of them in any dialect that you're familiar with.
Yeah, I don't know how to read.
That's fair. You
I'm
go
gonna look
over
through all the books. I don't know
to
how
the
do
small
that.
man who is floating in a thin green fluid.
Yeah, I'll wait for him. Want out? Are you okay?
Told you. He likes that
Alright.
job.
Wow.
Wants to live in it. Yeah.
Do you?
I think he really has a choice.
Ah, I see.
If you leave the jar, will you die? He's not.
What's he gonna do outside the jar? Like
Be
swim
a tiny
around?
man.
I don't think he wants that. I think he's good inside his jar.
I could release you into the ocean.
I don't think he wants to be released. He might die. I don't think he breathes water. I think he breathes green pickle fluid.
Ah, I see. I see.
He pulls his legs up and takes on like a thinking man pose
Oh my god.
and stays there for an uncomfortably long time.
I think that's his job, is to like think or something.
Oh, buddy.
6.
Welcome to the table, friend.
Buddy.
I mean, he can just sit there for it. Nope, never
No,
mind.
he's a bad boy.
Unless he's gonna do that.
He's not meant to be on the table.
I'm not gonna pick you up. Really? You just knocked my dice down?
So, for those who can't see,
Oh no, they can see.
Oh.
Avarice, can you roll percentage too?
He sees like his little hand.
I'm gonna kill that. So they
34.
can really see this happening.
Honey.
In addition,
Ow.
one thing that piques your interest, you
Alright,
find a
what makes you happy?
rectangular metal device with 2 tiny metal cups on one end that throws sparks when wet. Oh my god, I know what this is.
I don't.
Yeah. You see a tiny little, looks like square, seems to be some kind of plastic or metallic material, with 2 little nodes on one side.
Oh boy.
Pick it up.
Okay?
Yeah, what is this?
Sorry, say it again?
It's a small metal rectangle with 2 nodes on one side.
2 nodes? What
Like
do you mean?
little, essentially little metal buttons.
It's a rectangle with 2 buttons on the side.
It's about that big.
Click. If that does anything.
It doesn't seem to indent.
I don't know. Can I roll to see what this is?
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation.
6.
No idea what that is.
can I assist?
If you
where
want
did you find
to.
This?
I found it on the shelf.
Here,
It's probably not very important.
Can I see? Grab it. I'm gonna like knock on it. just
Okay. You
press a
knock
couple
on it.
buttons.
It's very smooth and soft to the touch.
Huh.
A part of it is black, and a very small portion of it seems to have some sort of a brown color.
Well, I know who'd know what this is.
Who?
Perry.
She-
Do you like her?
Uh,
Like her? Like you want to marry her and have the babies? Or she have your babies? And
you
they'd
know
be
that
like-
girl that
they'd be
shot me
kind-
with the arrows?
Yeah.
That was my ex.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so maybe Perry would be good for you.
Yeah, she doesn't shoot people with arrows. I don't even think she knows how to use a bow.
I'm just gonna turn around and walk away.
Okay.
But I'm keeping the thing.
Oh.
I put it in my bag.
Okay.
Almay is not laughing, but that was good.
Hi, Demon.
Am I having a mini battle with the cat? Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Love
can they
your
see
little
it? Yes.
face.
Hmm.
The table
I love
camera
your
for this
face, but
one.
you're
He's a
so
beast.
evil.
So,
Oh,
Yeah, you see several candlesticks, beakers filled with various fluids, none of them having small men in them aside from one. You see a pot, what looks like a glass prism, a lot of scientifical things. Nothing makes sense to you. It's an alien
None of
place.
these are jelly or jam, and I don't like them.
I'm gonna use my second wind and then I'm gonna short rest, if possible.
Take it up with the party.
I need a short rest.
Hey guys, just letting you know, I'm in a lot of pain, and I just like to sit down for about an hour.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too. I'm like bleeding.
He takes a stance, and you hear the Skyrim level up noise as radiant energy fills, and some of his wounds heal. No, that's your
Can you stop?
second wind. He's a beastie.
Has he
He's decided-
broken the rules too
Yep.
much?
He's biting
Okay,
wires now. He's
goodbye.
gotta go.
Just gotta unplug my
I don't
computer.
understand him.
Oh,
I didn't throw him. He's just thick.
he
Yeah,
is-
no, he has a lot of weight.
How much does 6 weigh?
He weighs more than Moose.
Moose is like
Definitely.
what,
So you all
15
choose
pound
to
cat?
take a long rest at the very bottom of this chamber.
And heck no, we are not long resting
Short
in
rest.
here. No, we're
Short
taking
rest,
an
sorry.
hour and then we're getting out of here.
Short rest. I don't think anyone actually.
At the end of last game, you
hour.
all agreed to continue investigating, now that it seems like a vacant
I
location.
wasn't here for the end of last game, so I have no idea what was decided.
I watched it back. Essentially, they all said that they wanted to explore and see more secrets, because they weren't allowed in this lower chamber or any of these areas before now.
I don't remember
That's-
saying that.
That's fine.
You can change your mind if you want, but I do believe that is what
We
happened.
need to
Does
figure
anybody
more
know that,
stuff out before I decide what to do anyways.
what is the hit dice for fighters?
D10.
D10s. If
Oh
you
my
go to
God, I
if you
keep rolling
go
ones.
to short rest,
Okay.
hit short rest. Shows you
Oh, okay.
how many you have left, so you can click on them and mark how many you've used.
Okay.
You can also reset if you lost if your maximum health got reset for some reason. You can check mark that.
I can heal you.
You also get back your action surge and your second wind.
If anyone's still hurt, I can heal you. I also get my wild shapes back on a long rest,
Oh.
or a short rest, which is pretty dope.
14, 19, 29,
5.
30.
If everybody else wants to explore, Ket is fine with that. Ket doesn't get left the decision up to everybody else.
Why did you come here?
Why did we come here? I don't know.
It was your choice.
I wanted to.
Abras wants to find
the
stuff.
point the point was initially to find Aurelius and either beat his ass in or understand why he did what he did, but now Aurelius is gone. So,
Well, okay, well,
and the Sea Stalkers.
That's something we could talk about in character because we didn't talk about it.
I mean, Ket did some. We did last game a little bit.
Okay, alright.
It was kind of. We never really came to a conclusion.
You have an hour
Yeah, we-
healing
yeah.
your wounds.
No, I know.
You aren't asleep.
That's what I wanted this to be.
Do you still want to stay here?
I wanna put my stuff.
I don't know. I want to know what happened, but I think we've already figured that out. I think
I don't care anymore.
only people that would
This
be
is something we need. I think that I need to leave behind me. It's
Um,
far beyond our time, and it's over. He's gone.
and
He
the-
got what he deserved, and I don't care about enacting some vengeance on my friend. He learned his lesson. He lost you. He lost everything. I don't want to rub salt into his wound.
the only way we'd be able to find him now anyways if we all went to the Fae.
Why do we do that?
I'm not supposed to.
If you
People
want to
there
do this,
anyways.
if you want to go back to your family and to your people, I'll follow you.
I don't even know if I could bring you guys back.
Well,
I don't know
You're
what they
not.
would do.
You're not allowed to bring other people
I'm
there.
not supposed to bring non-elves there now.
Then I
know
don't
what
want
would
to-
happen.
Roll history with advantage.
Damage your
Can't they
reputation.
banish
Well,
you
there's-
like they did your...
while they're talking about this, I'm a light torch.
Okay.
Just so we have some more.
I vaguely recall Logan because we talked about this
Mm-hmm.
in excess a while back. I rolled an 18. If I recall correctly, essentially the darkness or the dark area that was created is
The wilds.
The wilds is said to have been created due to humans and other races making their way to the Fae, which is
Specifically
why they're
humans.
Specifically humans.
You do recall that, especially with that role, that there was a period of time, long before you were born, where elves...
do we know that it was long before I was born? Like, timeline-wise?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because I know that time is weird.
Time is odd, but it was very established.
Okay.
And the way that you understand how time flows here, you can equate that.
Gotcha.
Essentially, the elves welcomed humans, some of the early humans, in open gates, open arms, and they mingled to some degree. Humans came into the Feywild and took advantage of its surplus, and there is a long-lasting stain that was the outcome of that friendship.
Which is
That's the Wastes.
the wastes.
It is now a barred-off area, and the elves want to put it behind them. They don't ever want to visit that memory again, or any humans, for the most part.
And on that front, they've also barred other
Yes.
races. Is it other races as a whole, or just humans?
Humans and humanoids from this realm, essentially. Any sentient creature from this world is not
So
welcome there.
All of these two would
But
qualify as that.
Narilius himself went into the Wastes. That was his goal. That's what he's been talking about. That was what he explained. And somehow he found a way there. And that is not under the jurisdiction of the elves anymore.
So in theory, if we were to find how he got to the wastes, we could go to the wastes and
Yes.
potentially encounter him.
Without elves ever being the wiser.
So
Well, I don't know this, so that's all in your mind.
If we went how he got back there, we could go there, but it wouldn't be pretty. It's the wastelands where everything is bad. The remind me what the wastes look like. I would describe it to them because I've seen them before.
You've only seen the border.
Right. Well,
There-
what I would say of the border then.
Is an incredible scale that the Feywild itself always has. It essentially, the real world is as flat as a game board comparatively. The scale there is incredible and enormous, and the border between the Feywild itself and these wastes is a very flat, barren area, but further in, you can essentially see looming shadows. You don't know what it is, and no one has ever told you what's beyond that open wasteland, like a battlefield.
It's also possible.
It's an enigma.
Because of how time works there, we would just never find him. If he went, how long has it been? Did they say 50 years? If he went 5 years after we died, he will have been in there for 45 years. Who knows where he could be? It would be. I don't think it would be smart to go there.
Well, no matter what we choose, I just want to get out of here, to be honest.
I do
Because
too.
those guys that just came by were
Will they say
really,
more?
really bad news.
Will they be looking for all of us now?
No, just me. But,
But you were with us, so
they're gonna want me dead.
okay. Do you think that the woman whose name I'm not remembering right now would rat you out?
Sarita? I don't know. I'm gonna be 100% honest about that. Because we used to be close, and then I had to kind of leave, and I haven't seen her in a really, really, actually really long time. So, not the best reunion.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to the Sea Stalkers then, or?
They were
What
supposed
about
to be
them?
here, weren't they?
Well, no, they're not. They left, I think, because we found a note, right, that described them leaving, or someone talked about them leaving last game. We know that they left for a reason, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't believe that you specifically know where they went or under what conditions they did. The other party, I think, received a message explaining that the Sea Stalkers had relocated.
Gotcha.
We don't know. Because Syndrix and Perry are the only ones that can cast Sending.
Gotcha. Okay. Alright. I could not remember if we were aware.
But
What about the Sea Stalkers? Who even are they?
So,
the information you do have is that the people that you met here were sent to kill an archpriestess of some sort,
that's right.
and they couldn't find them.
It's them. They want to kill them.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to.
So they showed up to kill the leader of the Sea Stalkers, who was the high priestess of them. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't know where they are. So that was interesting.
Why were they here? Weren't they?
They just kind of made this place their home because they had nowhere else to go. And it's kind of like half in the water already, and they're like half fish people, so it's like perfect. But they got on the nerves of the Black Knights, and the Black Knights decided to hire those guys.
The 11th Hour Alliance.
So the 11th Hour Alliance is who you used to work for, it's the assassins, the mercenaries, right?
Yeah, assassin, bounty hunter, yeah.
The Sea Stalkers, did they worship Norilius? Were they bound to him in some way?
They're not bound, but it seemed more like a scientific respect for this genius, because I'm sure he's done awful things, but that doesn't mean he's not smart.
And the Black Knights sent someone to kill them.
Yeah.
I've never met these Sea Stalkers.
They're nice people, from what we know.
Yes, so is Norilius.
Norilius sounds like a horrible person. What are you talking about?
He was a horrible person. He had a facade. We came here, and we stormed his castle. He invited us to dinner without any threat. He gave us a room to sleep in. He gave us food. He gave us what we wanted, and we left. And then, in the night, Olo and his sister were gone. They were doppelgangers, and we came back to the place, and we found out what he was really doing. And then he killed us. Who's to say the Sea Stalkers weren't the same?
I think he.
Altair, it's getting harder and harder every day to not find a reason to join the Black Knights. They killed my uncle, and that's about everything I hate about them. But every step they've done the same thing we have. They oppose the giant monsters. They want the Tesseract. They wanted to kill the Sea Stalkers.
You know the... Just a second. I've written down, plus Edge General. Looks through.
Oh, they really are enemy.
Here somewhere. Tinadex, yeah. Tinadex, which we found out was talking to what we believe is one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Okay.
They won't, like,
He's gonna end the world.
We met Tenindex once, and he helped us.
they won't.
Until I accidentally summoned a demon on top of him, and then he got a little pissed, but rightly so. What is this Horseman of the Apocalypse?
They
What is
won't,
that?
Well, from what I know of it, it's 4 different legendary creatures that bring about the end of the world.
Why would he be speaking to them?
Because he wants to bring about the end of the world. Remember how you were saying how the other guy, I forgot his name.
Why would they be so concerned with the politics and the wars going on with inside the world so much that they would want to destroy it?
They're not concerned with politics. We took a letter of peace from the Sea Stalkers to the Black Knights, and they didn't even read it. They just burned it. They're not concerned about peace, they're concerned about domination.
They want to control everything.
Do they want to control the world or destroy it?
Yes.
Well, you can't
Because-
control something that's dead.
In order to create something, sometimes you have to destroy it, and then build something new. So they're going to destroy the world and build their own world from the ashes.
Do you know that for sure?
Ket, make a history check.
Oh, okay.
There you guys go. 6 is being a good player. so I turned the cat.
He
cam
also
back
smacked his nose on Jacob's computer and got really confused.
On. I turned the cat cam back on. So
History's like my worst intelligence skill. 9.
You don't recall the conversation you had with Gravestock.
Sorry, who's that?
Exactly.
Dead.
I don't remember who Gravestock even is. So that I can forget that I'd ever had the conversation.
He was a Tenedek's counterpart before he was turned to lava.
Oh! I don't remember that at all?
Do you?
The
He,
whole... when
he
I
gave their
summoned a
mission
demon?
statement. They both gave their opinions on their
Any
mission
notes?
statement.
Check your notes. Jacob doesn't take notes.
I'm confused. Sorry. I don't know what's going on.
That's fine. I was just trying to shed light on the conversation, but
Wait, no.
It is in the
Is there
dark.
something I shouldn't be remembering that I'm remembering?
I think he means the other. There's something that you had a conversation about that you should know.
I was going
that
to remind
you're
you.
not recalling.
because it was explained to you, but you don't remember.
Oh, I don't even know who Tenedex is. I know who...
No.
You know who Trinidad
You
is.
had a conversation with.
Just
Gravestock
continue
and
your
Trinidad.
conversation. Nothing will be added to it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
I get... Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Well,
from what I know, and from what I've experienced, and be mindful, it's only been a month for you guys, but it's been 30 years.
I know.
People change. Even if he was good back then, he is very twisted.
I'm not saying they're good. They killed my uncle.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But I have to be honest, we haven't really done our fair share of good things either.
I've actually done quite a bit of good, but take out my necklace.
I'm sure you
I mean,
We're trying to get.
it's the same thing as what maybe the Black Knights would do. Maybe the same thing as, I don't know that you'll agree, but maybe the same thing as Narilius too. You know, what he was doing, he probably thought was good, and what the Black Knights are doing, they might think is good. And we've done things meaning to do good, and bad things have come of it.
I know. That's why I'm saying no.
I'm not joining the Black Knights, Kat.
I don't think
I
we
don't
should.
think we should join the Black Knights. I'm saying that
We should.
I'm not going to join the people who killed my uncle.
You mean maybe they're not.
I'm pointing out the idea that I'm not seeing a real big difference between them and us. Everywhere they go, there's destruction, and they kill, and everything goes wrong. It's the same thing for us. They want the Tesseract, so do we. We have similar enemies.
Yeah, minus the killing, we don't do much more, I guess.
I don't want to join them, but I'm saying there's not much of a difference between us.
Is your first instinct to kill people?
No,
That's their
No.
first instinct.
it isn't though.
First time we met them,
Wasn't.
You were
we
in
were
prison.
walking up. We were on horses, and we saw a group of 30 of them, and they immediately captured us and forced us to work for them. If they were reasonable people, that wouldn't have happened at all. We would have walked up, done a job for them, been nice about it. But no, it did not end up like that. Met a guy named Charlie. He was a huge a-hole. It just, I've had nothing but bad experiences with the Black Knights. So my opinion is extremely biased, but
I've had bad experiences with them as well. They're not good people.
Do you think we're bad people?
I don't know.
Well,
I think the difference between being good and bad isn't the result of what happens, it's what you're trying to do. If they want the Tesseract to control the world, then that's what makes them bad, it's what they want to do with it. We wanted to take it to Darius to find out more about it, to keep it safe.
I couldn't even manage that.
They probably want the bad guy to come out of it.
that they do want. There is a god in the Tesseract, and they are trying to release it. And he is the
Are
god.
we not trying to do the same thing?
Oh no, of course not. I don't want that guy out at all.
I'm pretty sure we are.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
That sounds
I
like
was
an
there
awful
when,
idea.
when the Dragonborn and all the others were talking about what they wanted to do with it, and the consensus was to get a brilliant out of it so that we could talk to him.
I thought that Darius said that what we needed to do was make the gods make up, basically, like they're brothers.
I could assume that the Black Knights don't want to do that. I assume they want to control Obrillion and use him to take over the world,
Okay,
if that's what their goal is.
Isn't Obrillion the god that they serve? The Black Knights?
What if they just want to release him? What if they want to do their god's justice? They don't want to take over anything, and they're just righteous zealots wanting to get the Tesseract so their god can be free.
Wouldn't they use more diplomats in that circumstance?
Not when a group of assholes is constantly moving the damn thing around where they can't find it. They're going to result to killing people, because it's their god. And Obrillion is the god of destruction. And, right? Yeah? God of destruction and war and things
God
like
of
that.
war, power, and order.
War, power, and order. It's not going to be a bunch of diplomats going, oh, please, can you please let us, our god, out of the thing? They're going to go, no! Spear! Give me the cube! Smash!
Well,
I think we need...
I'm not suggesting we should give it to them. They're bad. I don't want them to have it. I don't think they deserve it. Because they should have been diplomats about it. But they aren't.
Yeah.
They're willing to kill people for it, and that's not good.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be in their hands. But it shouldn't be in our hands either.
It's not.
I know it's not. And it's better that it isn't.
well,
I think you're just trying to make yourself feel bad, Kit.
if
Not
it
trying.
if it makes you, well, poor choice of words, but if it makes you feel better, the other guys are actually pretty good people. The people I was with before, they're solid.
I know.
There.
You accomplished what we couldn't.
Maybe we would be best served slowing the Black Knights down then. Surely they're still after the Tesseract.
Yeah, we could do that.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
I think he wants to kill the Black Knights.
And
Well, I don't mean kill them, I mean distract them. Make them think that we have the Tesseract. And
We're not any
put
better
them
than
off
them
the
if we
trail.
just kill them.
Make them think that
They'll
we have
see
the...
that that's an act of warfare. They'll just consider us our enemies. If we slow them down, that's...
be mindful
Just-
that I was literally born and raised into a group of bounty hunters and assassins. So
Right. What I mean is make them think that we have the Tesseract and not the others. We can put them on our trail and keep them away from the other group while they're doing the things that they need to do with the Tesseract.
see, unless they are still scrying on us, there's a good chance Tenendax thinks I have the Tesseract.
Kit, can you
If they
make...
have the ability to scry, they know what the Tesseract is.
Well, no, because it goes inside people, right? So unless they're just taking it out just for the hell of it.
Do you remember the boat we attacked? They were coming for us. They were headed towards that island. They know exactly where that thing is.
Then maybe we'd be best
Can
served
you...
going back.
You do magic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a way to make it look like you have the Tesseract? We can try to do it like in a city or something where some
I
Black
do.
Knights might be.
I do, yes, but
Get them on our trail instead of on the
that
others.
could work. There's one more thing I'm concerned about.
Hmm.
My home was destroyed.
Right.
Yes.
The old man is out there.
We could go find him.
We could stop him.
And it could be a suicide.
Can we stop him?
Uh,
Something we could do?
Probably not. But we could try.
How about this?
We're either opposing a gigantic army of war or
a giant.
a giant with chains and magic and evilness who probably has more power than the Black Knights combined. So,
What if we managed to pit them against each other? Bring the old man to them somehow.
I don't understand why that would do anything.
And they could be working together already.
Unless they're working together. But if they're not working together,
That's a good plan. I don't know how to accomplish it.
you used to speak with them, right? Could you do that again?
I could try. I don't know.
Okay, I've heard bits and pieces about this old man, but
He's one of the old monsters that was created way, way, way back when in the giant war that almost destroyed the entire world.
Oh yeah, that one.
He was chained to like a certain spot.
You know, your prey.
Oh yeah, that war.
He's one of those guys. He has a beard that looks like it's constantly flowing and a featureless face, and he was chained in a forest outside of Blastow. I stumbled upon him one day, and he gave me his boon and powers. That's when I turned into an aversion, and that's when I got my magic.
Ah, I see.
Yep. He's kind of been a bane on my life ever since then.
It's very strange. You say he lived in the forest?
Mm-hmm.
So
How
And
far,
he escaped and destroyed Blastow.
How far away is Blastow from where we are now?
or the ruins of Blastow.
Other side of the world.
Oh my god.
Never mind.
How long ago was Blastow destroyed?
That was like 28 years ago. 30?
About 23.
23. About 23 years
Well,
ago.
then he could be anywhere.
Man, I really miss having like really educated spellcasters. Like they're not like great in a fist fight, but
Man, I miss
can
smart
they
people.
help out.
You miss her.
Ugh, jeez.
I think we should find a Black Knight. I think we should find one, capture it, and ask it what they're doing. I want to know all of their goals. I want to know everything that they're attempting to do, and then we can rightly make a judgment on what to do with them.
So
I
we
am
need to
not
find-
going to be tricked again by going into a place and having them be completely different than what we thought. It happens.
Actually, that
Too
happens
much.
quite a lot.
Welcome to the game of subversion and morality.
But
That's the whole theme. And I keep doing it.
I want to.
I don't want to just attack the Black Knights and then we go there and they're like, we're the orphanage Black Knights, and they're actually good people, okay? It's happened to us! Captain Bait and Switch?
Can any of you, like, if we have a specific person and target in mind, can we find them?
Possibly. If we can't fight all of them, obviously, but we can fight a group of them. We don't have to kill anybody either.
Here's a thought.
I'm sick of killing people.
Can I? I'm sorry. I'll say it later. But.
We left those two out in the dinghy, and I didn't finish those two off. Remember?
The dinghy?
After she sunk that ship, that was cool.
That was 30 days ago.
Yeah, but they were in a dinghy in the ocean.
We're on the land now, Clayton.
We had sails.
What
They
just-
were rowing.
Or
It's
No.
been 30
they
days!
probably
You know,
died because they
something
didn't
else.
have water.
Something else to think about. I lived where I lived for a long time, and I didn't know a lot about what I was doing. I just believed what I was told. I think we need someone that's more important than just a Black Knight. We need someone that knows what's going on.
We could find Tinnidex.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go fist fight Tinnindex. He's probably
I
alone.
wouldn't fist fight him.
We could try to just
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to him.
I would just fist him.
Fist
Gabe. Fuck. Cat wants to set up a Tinder date to not get catfished.
him. Pretty much.
It's the whole game.
I could turn into like a giant bird, and I could scoop him up, and we could all go into the air, and then I could be like, and you could ask him questions. And if he doesn't answer, I could drop him.
Maybe not 10 index.
I love
That's shooting too high.
I love that
Okay.
innocent
Yeah. Good point. He was actually
I can
talking.
torture him by raising him up in the air.
We could, if we go for someone too high up, they're going to be so up their own ass in righteous zealot glory that they're not going to give us any real. They're going to give us like proverbs and
We need to
psalms of their glorious Mein Kampf. And if we need to get somebody who's like, well, I just kind of do this, but also they know what's going on. We need like a lieutenant, not like a general captain.
How about this?
But not like a dude who's just, I carry the pay for the horses. They don't know what's going on.
Let's start off by going to a town.
All right, and
We'll
just
go-
proclaim we have the Tesseract, and I cast minor illusion and create the Tesseract in my hand.
No, that's
It'll
an
get
awful
them-
idea.
But we'll attract them.
Yeah,
we'll attract all of them.
them.
Yeah, that idea.
Locusts.
I just want to break continuity for a second and say you said Mein Kampf, so she rolled a D4 for psychic damage, and I rolled a d20 for psychic damage and rolled 9.
Oops.
Oops.
9. 9.
It's all right. He speaks German. He knows.
There was also a lot of comments on Tin and Dex's name.
Oh.
Yes.
He's only got a 10 in Dex. Tenant Depths. Torrent X. T-Rex. T-Rex. 10 and X. Neopets.
Neopets. Torrent X is my favorite.
Yep.
He's got a 10 index.
So here's my.
If only he had a brilliant index. Ooh.
Oof.
Nice.
So we go to another town.
Okay.
I have this. I pull out several platinum things, all with gems inside and like some gold. Took that from the island. We could go get some cool stuff, like that could help us out. Maybe a magic item or two. We'll see if we can find something like that.
I need a new staff.
Oh, we'd get one of those.
So we
And
can
then
get things.
we could find. We can ask around, see if we can find a smaller.
I'm really good at infiltration.
We can find a smaller Black Knight organization. Like
Is
one of
there-
their outposts.
Is there
Okay.
anyone?
I like that.
Is there anyone that we could go to that would know where they might be? Any city? Any?
I'm gonna roll history on that if that's okay.
Okay.
Said Colton, knowing what he wants to say, but I'm not playing that character, so I can't say it.
I rolled a 6, so no idea.
You would think that the closest place to here. There's a very faint memory of you passing by some sort of civilization on the shoulders of a giant, but past that, I believe Lockheim is the only place closest that you recall.
For
Okay, I
for
have
knowledge
an idea.
for knowledge
Lockheim?
sake,
We've been there
Lockheim
before.
is the place that's controlled by the Black
Yes,
Knight, correct?
that's the horses
That's
land.
yeah. That's they got the horses in the back.
Here's an idea. There's a town called Lockheim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
It's semi-close to here. It's a little far away, not gonna lie.
Is it friendly?
It's run by the Black Knights.
So no.
But
It doesn't matter. That's what we want.
do
But
any of them, other than the people on that ship that we sunk, know who you are?
No,
10 index.
it's been 30 years. Unless we run into 10 index.
Unless some of
And-
them, when you summoned the guy, they didn't die, right? Didn't some of them?
What guy?
Tinnindex was the only one that didn't die.
Oh.
You
Oh,
also
yeah.
remember that the Orcish warlord from Lockheim
Was on
was
that
the
ship.
captain of that ship,
Mhm.
and she was in the dinghy.
So she's likely not there anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
And even
If she
so,
would-
if we can get in and then get out by the time she gets back, we'll be good.
Do you guys
I like
mind
that.
if we look around here for my things?
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think the type of person that he seems to have been. I don't think he would have kept any of your guys' stuff. I think he only kept mine because he realized who I was.
Well, I still want to look. He liked magic, right? Some of them are
what was
magic.
some of your magic stuff? We might have found it earlier.
I had this like cloak, and it was like leaves and like super cool, and I had a staff and it had flowers on it.
It's a bag of pastries.
No, I have that.
Wait.
You have that.
Yeah, they carried
The
that.
big lady had it.
Mm-hmm. We did
Mhm.
find that. That was
And
one of the only
then
things we found.
little shoes that had like little prickly things on the bottom, and they would stick to the wall.
Yeah, I don't think we found any
Did
of
you
that.
find an extra spell slot lying around?
A what?
I'm a fighter.
Oh, what?
I don't know
well,
what that is.
I hit things.
That's fine.
So do I.
Oh, nice. So, hey, do you guys want to start heading out?
Just look for things and then we can go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna look for Aber's things.
Is that
All right.
tentacle monster still there? The one that hit Centrix?
Well, that's a very good question. Currently, you guys are in what was the Holy Chamber of Change, the location where she did a lot of her augmentation on her people. And through a door here, you see the room with the simple carving above it that says Ret, that you recognize, and that beyond that, was that creature. This was an open doorway, and half of it's filled with mud. Altair, as you look in, you can read the elvish writing on the wall.
Yeah. What does it say?
It says, it's a very strange phrase. It simply says, this is a room exclusively filled with mud. You are loved, Betty. You are trusted with all my secrets. You keep, and then the rest fades into the mud.
Who's Betty?
Betty? Is that written on there?
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't know that. You can read that?
Yes.
You
It's
can read Elvish.
As-
Elvish. It's where I'm from.
You
I like
say
that
the
Lord
name.
Cam is just the kitty cam.
Yep.
Hey,
it is
Beth.
today. I'll say Betty in Elvish.
Betty.
The writing on the wall, and you see 3 individual eye stalks slowly pop up above the mud, and they observe you.
Hey, remember me?
Do you understand this language? And I'll say it in Elvish.
You say that, and rising above the water, give me 1 second.
Oh my gosh.
I can't not say this joke, but Hitler's favorite band is Mind Chemical Romance.
You could have just not said that.
No, that was Gabe.
Is a very large, monstrous creature. You see the upper half of its head rise above the water, and a mouth that could easily fit 2 of you at once.
All right.
It speaks in a guttural, yet soft voice, and you hear in Elvish, "And who are you?"
Oh.
My name is Altair. I am Norilius's daughter.
The eyes change, and it begins to swim forward. This room is very wide, and it approaches you and reaches near the end of that slanted door, and it observes. How have you come here?
I don't know. By accident?
I would imagine it's no accident that you're here. You're supposed to be dead.
Yeah. I point to him. Do you know him?
I do.
The group that he was with brought us back. Me and them, my friends.
Interesting.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Do you speak their tongue?
I wouldn't taint my own tongue with their language.
Okay.
Man, this thing seems really nice.
It speaks so softly.
Yeah, we intentionally give Logan the best microphone because sometimes he talks like he's whispering. So
Am I still there?
no,
No,
like
they're saying
you're
your voice
the
is
thing,
good.
you're
Oh,
really
nice.
loud. Like you're the loudest one.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
he should be the loudest.
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I know. What happened to Norilius?
He left. The first time you came here. After everything that happened. He found a book on your friend. And one of the eye stalks kind of extends forward toward Ket. It contained more knowledge than just about everything he had been working on. He took it with him to the Fae to start his war.
Is he still alive?
I wouldn't know. He's been gone. I would hope so.
Is he planning on coming back?
No. He left us here. He plans on fighting that war until the day he dies.
What will you do?
We'll guard the secrets in this mud, as I have always done.
Would they be allowed to be revealed to me?
If you ask the right questions.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I'll pass this information
Okay.
on to them.
You
Hey,
begin
Cook,
translating.
$1.99. If an orphan eats alone, is it a family meal?
I have actually answered that already. It depends on how big the orphan is, because in order for it to be a family meal, you have to eat an entire family.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a-
interesting.
Gotcha.
Like a
Got it.
child-sized drink where it's the size of
The size of a
small
child,
little
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Whereas I'm sorry, you say a small liquefied child.
Yeah.
That's a joke from Parks and Rec.
Okay, sorry.
So I'll pass that to you
I got a
guys.
little.
So quick version. This dude is friendly to us because
Excuse you.
Sorry.
She's a woman.
Sorry, Betty.
Dude is a gender neutral term.
Thank you. Betty is friendly to us because I'm Aurelius's daughter. She says that there are secrets in the mud, and she will give us the access to the secrets if we ask the right questions. I pass that information to you guys. I can translate anything you say to her.
Is my stuff in there?
Can I?
I don't think
I'm
she
gonna
would know that.
take a look at this thing. I'm gonna see if I can take it in a fight if we need to. Just from like perception investigation.
I can ask.
Roll
if she knows where.
investigation and make a strength check.
Okay. It is my investigation. 15.
Okay.
And my strength check. 16.
You think it'd be tough, but with the party that you have, you could probably take it down.
Okay.
Do,
Guys, just letting you know.
do we need? Or sorry, do you know where Apris's stuff is? No, look over to Apris.
The small one.
Yes.
What were her things?
What things did you have?
I had a staff,
I'll
and
translate
I
this.
had shoes that let me stick on the wall, and then I had a cloak made of like leaves and branches.
He did throw a filthy stick into my mud.
Could you retrieve it?
And as you say that,
It was a
it
poopy
slinks
stick.
ever so slightly, and then a tentacle rises out of the water with your staff of flowers.
Aww.
See,
The rest, I imagine, was abandoned during his turmoil.
You probably got rid of the rest of it.
how about
you
you
do.
with my stick?
Here you go. I'll give you a bar of soap to clean it off.
Unfortunately, I don't have press.
It's just an entire bar of soap just. Not
By
so
my
soapy.
design, I will give you no more information than you ask. In a way, we are kin.
Did,
So,
did you or Norilius know anything about the Black Knights?
No.
ask her about a brilliant.
Or about a Brilliant?
One of the 6 deities of this realm. What would you like to know?
What?
Why was he trapped?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know why he was cast out, trapped?
Why did you win?
Norelius took little interest in the religious affairs of this world. He only knows their domain and their absence, and what followed in its wake.
I maxed it. And then I drew to craft a flower on it.
Do you guys have anything you want to ask? If Norilius knew it, this thing knows it.
Really?
Betty knows it. Likely, and it will only tell me if I ask the question. So if you guys want to know anything that Aurelius might have known, I can ask it.
Well.
It would be cool to know if this thing knew anything about the Black Knights.
It doesn't. I
Doesn't?
already asked.
Interesting.
Aurelius had no interest, apparently. Nothing about a Brilliant either.
Ask if there's any other cool stuff down there.
I actually like that. You should ask that.
What stuff of yours was?
I don't know. It's hard to
You
remember.
had the page?
Aurelius took the book with him.
Yes, each of its pages will serve him in
What?
coming days.
No, it has to be a purple hair.
It's great.
No way.
He did take your book with him to the Fae.
What book?
Oh, the Gloaming Codex? No. I didn't have that. I got rid of that. The book where you could, fuck, I don't remember. Yeah, it was a magic book. I don't remember what it did.
We
That
had the
is, I'm not gonna lie, it's slightly
Did you
terrifying.
have anything else?
It wasn't that powerful. Like there were stones, stones that I could put spells into, I think, and transfer the knowledge to other ones.
Were
I
any-
can't really remember.
Were
It's
any
been a long
magical
time.
stones put in
I don't.
That
your-
would be so
Dummy.
useful.
Unfortunately, I completely remade Ket's character sheet when I did it, and I deleted my other one, so I legit don't know what I had.
I think that's good. That's perfect.
Well, yeah, that's why I did it, because I didn't have anything. So it deleted
I
a lot
think
of
Logan's
stuff.
trying to remember what the items were.
No, I remember what they were.
Okay.
Logan has big brain.
Was book restricted.
The galaxy
So,
brain.
what did you ask her exactly?
If there were magical stones of Ket's put in.
I do not know what belonged to him. I do have 3 stones with faint arcane auras.
Could I see all 3 of them?
Yes. Just a minute. I got.
Hey, Logan, when you're not looking something up, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta find it.
In my inventory, I have Flying Scroll Tube.
Mhm.
What is that?
It's essentially a sending spell scroll. It's the thing that you received some kind of letter in. I don't recall what it was exactly.
So I could like put letters in it and
Yes.
send it to people.
You speak the name of a recipient, and it will take essentially an eagle's flight there.
Cool.
So it will. So
It'll take time.
It's not instant. It's more like a carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Are we talking like Raven speed or Game of Thrones Raven speed?
Because
Because Game of Thrones Raven speed means instant.
Or,
Gendry speed?
Relatively normal things.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll be back.
It's a little bit
alright.
faster than the average raven.
I'm gonna go grab something.
Give me a second.
I just realized you had that. That's gonna help out a lot. You guys can keep talking.
Okay.
I'll go to the library.
Okay.
I've also, and
I have had these stones for a great length of time. It will take me a moment to retrieve them.
That's okay.
last thing, I have
appreciate your help.
I've named them the bracers of dancing daggers. They are daggers I can throw, and then they become flying swords, basically.
Yes.
Cool. Just
For a
making sure.
period of time.
And then they only have so many charges, right?
Yeah. It had like 30. I think you used like 2 of them.
All right. Cool. Yeah, because I was testing it.
Yeah.
So the
Takes forever to
reason
load.
I'm going to the
You're good.
library is to pick up just either a blank book or a book that doesn't have very much writing in it, so I can tear out the pages for paper so that I can write a note, so we can actually send something, because we don't
Okay.
have paper.
You head back up to the library, and you find in that desk that give me a quick second.
Yeah.
B3, yeah. The Hall of 10,000 Tomes. Yeah, you found the weird sense of order, and in most of the books, there's that first blank page.
Mhm.
You just methodically go through several books and rip out the first page. And you come back with however many you'd like.
If you're still looking stuff up, Logan, if you want to, we can take a break.
I am on the edge of that. Is there
Okay.
anything else you would like to ask her? Because I can run through all of your answers and questions or materials if you'd like.
It would be cool to take a break at some point.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't have
I'd like
now,
to.
but at
It's
some
the
point.
moment you guys leave this room, pretty much.
Anything else that you guys want to ask?
No, really. This is your thing.
Roll me 3d20.
Me?
Yeah.
You think of 18 questions.
Okay. 7,
Okay.
19,
Add them together or
Separate.
Separate.
19 and
8.
apparently 719 is a movie.
Mm.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. I'm walking back. All right, I have paper for notes. So we can send 10 messages. Put those in my bag.
Wow, I've never thought of saying that before. That is great. VG devotee called Eldritch Blast E-Blast.
E-Blast.
That's awesome.
And then roll me 1d4.
2.
Okay. She reaches in and pulls out a small stone with a rune inscribed on it.
I'll pass it to Kat.
Are you familiar with any runes?
I don't know, am I gonna roll Arcana?
Yeah, go ahead and roll Arcana.
Oh boy, I have a +10 to Arcana.
Unless it's in Elvish, and I would just be able to read it. But
It's
not Elvish.
Futhark.
It is actually Elder Futhark.
Fuck yeah, 15.
15. This is Gabo, or Gibo.
Gibo.
And
Hey boy, got it.
I'll say that having been attuned to the Tesseract and a series of arcane runes, essentially, especially with the old man. You know that if you were to shatter the stone, just like that gnome's rune was shattered, which created the tree in the middle of the boat on Sunfather Island, if you were to somehow remove that rune from that stone, it would have a series of effects on what you put it on. The one thing you do learn is if you were to put it on something that was familiar or friendly to you, it would gain 10 maximum hit points.
If I throw this on an
Permanently?
animal and make it mad, just kidding. I'm thinking, like, imagine it's 6, just. No, this will give somebody some temporary max. I don't know why I said that. in
You're
Ket's
not
voice.
familiar.
Would he?
You know that it has
Is it a time limit?
vitality properties.
It could be permanent, potentially.
It
I think
could
is
be.
what he's saying.
Give me a second.
Okay,
Oops, that's
plus 10, still rolls 5s.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we did do that. We just need to upload it.
And I know all of you are going to be like, it's because I use these dice. Okay. All right. These dice are Ket dice, and maybe they roll bad. I don't care. I'm loyal to them. Fuck. they rolled
It's the
another
rune
5.
of gifts and curses.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
My only question would be like, is it permanent or is it like a, I'm aware it's
Yeah.
like a one-time use, but like if I use it, is it gonna go away in a day?
That's something that you would have to find out from experimenting.
Jacob, I use these dice. It shows green dice to the green screen camera.
Oops, they're not
Nice.
green. They're like a teal.
They just showed through.
Oh, that's funny.
It
I
pulls.
use these dice. Nothing. They are like a teal color.
It
so.
pulls out 2 more, and I will give you. So you should write this down so that I can refer to
Yeah.
it.
You got it. Yeah,
Do you need to put
GEBO.
No, I can put it in my
Okay.
character sheet. 1 second. There's a way to add custom stuff. Here we go. Okay. Custom item.
You guys are free to think of any questions you want to ask Betty before
I'm
y'all
gonna call-
leave.
You have questions?
I said I have no questions.
What's good, guys?
Runestone. Okay, what's one of them?
Uh,
Ebo?
yeah, GEBO.
Got it.
Gifts and curses. Wunyo, which is joy or hope and harmony.
Hang on.
Is this all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would give Ket all 3 of them.
Okay, and the second one is you what?
Wunyo.
You
WNJO. Or WUNJO.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said. All right, and
I'm
that's
sorry, you
what?
spelled it that way? Okay.
Because I know how to spell shit.
That is joy, hope, and harmony.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
It's called Your Dad Wasn't an English Teacher. What?
And Hagalaz, which is hail or destruction.
Did you say Hagalaz?
Yeah.
Take the
It's from-
destruction.
yeah.
Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, you said I gotta experiment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Gibo.
Okay. Gibo. So you take it to your chest and you shatter the stone?
Yep.
The stone vanishes. The rune is permanently on whatever armor you're wearing, and
Oh.
it glows the same color. And you gain 10 maximum hit points.
Hell yeah.
When he's wearing the armor, I'm assuming. That's cool.
Awesome.
Quick.
Yes.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you what to ask. What did Narilius do when he realized it was me that he killed?
There were many days when I did not see him. When he came back, he was quieter than normal.
I feel really buff, guys. Oh, sorry, I haven't just finished coffee.
Seemed as though he carried himself in a way as though he was tending to a duty, not with anticipation, but with many regrets. That's all I know.
Oh, I actually do have a
You
question.
do?
Yes. What is the little man in the jar in the other room?
That's a good question, actually.
I'm actually very curious about that as well.
There is a. What would you call it?
A 2-inch man in a jar.
Okay, a two-inch man in a jar of green liquid. Do you know what
It's within eye shot.
Oh, I point to it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was an eye shot.
You're in the same chamber. She's on one open door and it's on
Gotcha.
the other.
Man,
She
we
looks
should've
at
found some of those other people in that chamber.
she looks at the creature and responds, I have watched that priestess work in the time that she was here. There was a bit of flesh that she began to mold for over a 10-day. That was the result. Hasn't left that jar since.
Do you know what it is?
Do you?
I'm gonna walk over and ask if he wants to go on an adventure.
We're Death Stranding now, boys.
Oh my god.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna.
You take the jar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a length of rope. I'm gonna tie it around securely enough so that he can see.
Wait,
Okay.
When he's secure, he's gonna be like,
Oh my god.
He's on your chest?
It's
Okay.
like the dog in Undertale.
So
Oh, yeah.
think of it like
He's in your
on
inventory.
The backpack strap, like a water bottle.
Yeah.
So that if I get in combat, I can take it off.
It doesn't
and
do
he's not
anything,
gonna
but
be-
if you
Okay.
let him experience the whole game, you get an achievement.
Yeah.
Never played that game. I need to.
Undertale?
It's pretty good.
I have it on my Switch if you want to play.
Do that.
That is your last question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will, and then I'll say the
Oh my god.
Black Knights are hunting for the people that were here. They may come here again and start to try to uncover what Nerilius learned.
I will defend everything in my chamber. That's all I've been designed to do.
It is just a warning for you. There's a lot of them.
I need no
appreciate
warnings. I am always on alert.
I hope that if we ever come back here, I'll find that you are still alive and well.
Perhaps some of the boons of my chamber would best fit you if I am to fall. I will give them to you now. That's where we're going to go on break. We're going to
Awesome.
come right back. The party's going to have more fucking magic items, and we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
It'll be pretty dang quickish. We'll be back in like, what, 10, 15?
Yeah, probably.
Quickimsh. Thanks for watching. For some reason, I don't know why you're here, but we appreciate it. We're having fun.
All 44 of you.
What the heck?
Yeah.
We back, boys. From that crazy break where we all flew to the moon and killed God.
Woo!
So that's who we are now. We are
Tesseract's over. We won.
Goose.
transcendent
God.
deities, and now we're going to pretend to release a god in a fictional game that's not real and isn't taking place.
Woo!
Wow.
Is that not what we're trying to... Anyway, sorry.
Guys, is the audio just garbage right now? Because I just got like a little notice.
Well,
And so let me
excuse-
know, please.
Betty reaches out with a network of tentacles, many more than you had expected. Many of them are kind of lashing around the room. The first one to carry an item that isn't garbage is a cold blue sword with the mouth of what looks like a white draconum at the hilt. It is set on that grated floor before you.
Okay, how large of a sword is it?
It looks like a short sword.
Okay.
The second one is a gem-laden helm with a what appears to be golden frame and a silver trim. It's very, very immaculate, something that you imagine a king might wear. And the third is a small dagger with 3 diamonds in its hilt. And that one is placed before you, all of them with a very, very faint arcane glow that you are naturally aware of.
Alright.
Okay.
That is
I'd
all.
be happy with any of this stuff. So, however you guys want to divvy it up,
I'm gonna. So there's a short sword. What's the second one? I'm so sorry.
a dagger and
And a helmet.
A short sword, a dagger, and a helmet.
I'll go
I
for
mage hand
short
the dagger.
Okay.
I'll go for the short sword initially. No, I'm gonna grab for the helmet.
Do you know what's awesome? My mage hand is invisible, so literally it just
Yeah.
looks like I just force things to my hands. Yeah, and it just comes over.
It has 3 diamonds in its hilt on either side.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That's cool.
Do I identify? Frick, I don't. Should.
I should.
I used to have
I
it.
hate that you have that.
Identify? I don't have it.
The dagger.
This dagger?
Yeah.
Why?
I am DM. I am sad.
Is it for somebody else? Does somebody else want this?
Wait.
Cognus reaches through the veil, grabs
Actually,
it.
Well, no,
can
let's-
I see the dagger?
Here, we'll try some. Let's see how good you are. I flip it and I grab the dagger on one
Oh
side,
god.
All right.
throw it at you. See if you can catch it.
I'm gonna see if I can actually catch
Roll attack with a +1.
Me?
Yeah.
You roll a natural one?
Yeah. Fuck.
Hol-
Need the goddamn lucky feet.
It's gonna be athletics or acrobatics.
Should have been a halfling.
If I get to add my attack to this,
you
it's
can
a-
call on its luck to re-roll 1 action.
Oh shit!
So you can reroll.
It's a lucky dagger.
So
Better.
+1.
Yeah.
So 12.
Does it not beat you?
I haven't rolled yet.
He's trying to catch.
He's trying to catch it.
Is it plus acrobatics? Because I'm trying to catch it.
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh, dexterity saving throw. Okay, +3, that's 15.
Can you catch it?
Yeah. Ket, only you are aware of it as you throw this dagger through the air, and you feel a faint warping of reality itself as you will your throw to not be pitiful.
I almost imagine like I throw it once and I see it like and like clinking onto the ground and that becomes like translucent and I see like the real event of it happen. I'm like, oh fuck, that's crazy.
But I'm
It's
still
very
catching.
familiar to events that have occurred with the Tesseract that you've experienced.
Awesome.
As if
You catch it?
Yeah.
2 realities are colliding.
Because I rolled a 15.
That dagger is insane. The dagger's magic. Throw it to me. Watch.
I have an idea. I'm gonna take my whip out.
Oh,
My
okay.
+1 whip.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna tie the dagger on the end of the whip. I'm gonna see if I can use the whip with the dagger at the end of it. Is that possible?
It's a non-magical whip, right?
No, it's a +1 whip.
Ah,
Because I
it's
have
magically weighted. That's right.
I have 2. I I have the Psycho, which is the Whip of Warning,
Mhm.
which doesn't have any bonuses, but it makes me
Yeah.
can't be surprised. And then I have the Whip +1
Okay.
that I got from Gary's. No,
You,
from the.
you tie it to the end of the whip, make an attack roll with a +1.
Okay.
And where are you attacking?
Well, I was just gonna see if I could do a really cool
Mm,
like.
okay.
And like have it like shoot up, but I rolled a 2 plus. so it's a 9.
Roll
but-
percentage.
I love this. This is great.
99.
All right. Yeah, the property is expended, so you whip out this whip, and with its metallic little silvered head, it shoots out, and that little head is what keeps that dagger attached to the whip when it reaches its zenith, and with a crack in the air, it falls to the ground.
Okay. I pull it back to my hand. I can't.
It's still attached to the whip.
I untie it from the whip. I have fancy mage hand because I'm an
Yeah.
arcane trickster. So can I like untie it?
Yeah, you learn one of its features. It allows you to re-roll affiliated checks with that dagger once per day.
Tying it to the end of that whip is pretty cool, but this thing is a lucky dagger, and if there's anything that I need, it's better luck in my life.
He's
Okay,
really
good point.
not
I'm actually pretty good on
Every
magic.
time I cast Eldritch Blast, a bottle breaks.
You hear one in the
The little
distance.
I didn't even
man
cast
in
it
the
that
bottle.
I can't.
Oh no!
Seriously, you might want to. Do the diamonds change it at all?
A bit of energy fades just within the top two.
Okay, so I can do that once per day. Just
Mhm.
re-roll an attack roll. Awesome.
That's really cool. Alright, the helmet, my friend?
Mm-hmm. It is gem laden and golden with a silver trim.
Hey, Ibris, you want this cool looking helmet?
I will take a look at it.
Oh, never
Okay.
mind.
You see gems. Give me a second, actually.
Is this a
I
thing
previously
in the
read
game that
Oh,
I can
yeah,
add, or is this
You
your
did short sword, you did.
I'm limiting it
Oh.
a bit, so
Dagger.
just
Wait,
make a
there's only
note
3.
of everything
There's
that
no way to
happens
use a
with
short
it.
sword?
No, I know. Like, I'm saying, should I make a custom magic item, or is it something
Yeah,
in the
you
book?
should.
Might
Okay.
be death. Well, I don't know, because you have a lot of weapons already.
I have a lot of
This
weapons.
The thing is like my entire character is built around using great weapons. So using a short sword, even if it's a good short sword,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
worse than using my hand axe.
see, I have a long
My
sword
great
for
axe.
close up, and I have a whip for far away, and that's like in between that.
Does this dagger require attunement?
I will say no.
Awesome. And it's +1?
Yes.
Awesome.
Actually, you know what? I am gonna pick up that short sword. Do I feel anything special from it right off the bat?
You feel a chill in your hand, but one that grows comfortable with you. Almost like a very faint, kind of warm chill. You know,
Yeah, if you want
that's a bad analogy. It's something that's almost comforting. It's not uncomfortable.
So it's like a pleasant cool. It's not
Yes.
cold. Okay.
This helmet, if you want to write this down,
Sure.
has 2 diamonds,
Alright.
4 rubies,
Where's my stupid there it is.
welcome to magic item gaining.
Alright. Helmet. 2 diamonds. 4 rubies.
4 rubies,
Okay.
4 opals,
4 opals.
mhm,
Okay.
and I will say 4 emeralds.
4 emeralds. Okay.
And that's it.
I will ask our friend. Do you know what the helmet does?
Depends on what you would like it to do.
What are the options?
Each of those crystals has a unique command. If you name the crystal while you are attuned to it, an outcome occurs. I have not experimented with anything. I am simply a keeper.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to that dead gnome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit him with the short sword just to see if it does anything really cool.
Just gonna say, I really like magic items like this that are like kind of limited, and they're just like little flavor things that are really cool. Like I like that it's not super overpowered. That I can just like once per day I can do the little thing, and it's like, hey, that's fun.
It's nice. And the description's kind of cool.
Oh my goodness, Mike Salmon, $20.
My goodness.
Now I can finally put my glass bottles on display. Hopefully.
So you cut.
People are saying you should cross class into divination wizard
Why?
because you can make your own rolls.
So you draw and brandish the weapon as you approach the dwarf. Are there any open flames near you, or does anyone have them?
I actually had lit a torch while we were resting.
As you draw it, the torch is immediately snuffed out. And as you cleave into one half of the dwarf, you see particles of ice and his blood begin to freeze over in the segment that you cut.
Man.
What?
Nice. You want them both?
Is that an ice sword?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can be good or I can be cool.
That's really cool.
Does anybody want this? Because if not, I will take it and I will use it.
I think Ket might want it.
It just creates ice on it, yeah?
Did you see that torch just snuff out?
That was really cool.
I can't.
Yeah.
Wait, it
That's the
snuffs
first-
out torches?
That's the first time I've been able to do. I've seen wizards do that, but I haven't been able to. That was so
Fuck
cool.
you, wizards!
How about... So wait. What else does it do? It snuffs out torches. Anything else?
It looked like it froze some of his blood. Yep, that's a blood
It's
spike.
actually a really fucking cool sword.
Here.
I'm gonna take the short sword real fast. I'm just gonna like swing it.
As you do, you see faint water particles, especially in this area where the water's very thick. It's very humid, and there's a pool below you. You see particles of ice begin to form in the air.
I go over to the water if I can.
Okay.
I'll have it upside down, and I just want to like stab the water.
Okay. You dip it in, and because it is very cold seawater, as you do, you stab it in kind of slowly, and you, of course, see ice particles form over the top, as if you were a pillar of brine. Water freezes around it, because it has a different temperature than the sword, and the sword begins to glow faintly.
That's cool.
Glow?
Out to 10 feet.
When it's in water, it glows?
When it is in freezing temperatures.
That's really cool.
Second.
Yeah, hey, you want the lucky dagger?
And
Actually, I'm good.
you
I have
see-
a +1 whip, a psycho. This
Are you sure? You could put it on the end of it. That's a great idea.
take it.
The sword?
No, the dagger.
The dagger? Yes.
You faintly illuminated what looks like sunken books and strange alien devices just below the water.
Oh, there's yucky down there.
I'm gonna reach in and grab just a random artifact from down there.
You dive below the water.
Wait, how far down is it?
The whole room is, I think, about 60 feet deep and about 40 square feet wide.
Is this a frost brand?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna add it to my inventory.
All right.
Fuck yeah, I wanted this so bad. And I can actually use it.
Most of the stuff in here is. So you do dive below the water, correct?
I do not, because I just saw him stick a freezing sword. I'm assuming it's gonna be really cold. I'm like, you know what? I'm not down for that. The torch just got put out. I'm good.
Okay. I'll say as he pulls it out, all of the ice that it formed in the water follows suit, and he kind of crashes it to the ground.
Well, actually, do you mind if I see that really quick?
You've been in the water before.
I know, but listen, can I see the sword again? I'm just gonna try something.
Sure.
I'm gonna stick it in the water, but I'm gonna hold it in there while ice forms.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can create a large club out of it, out of ice.
It's so perfect for. Oh my god.
You wait for a while, and after a decent amount of time, about an inch thick worth of ice surrounds the sword, and then nothing else happens. It doesn't expand. But as you pull it out, it seems as though this short sword has now grown into a long sword.
What? Yo.
Whoa! What?
He formed ice around it by holding it in water. It's now a longsword.
Cut that part off. I can't use it. It's too big.
It
Hit it against the
it
ground.
functions as a longsword for one attack. So as
Oh,
you do,
cool.
it shatters.
That is cool.
That's amazing.
That is
There you go.
really
Thanks.
cool.
Yeah, I would.
Mario
you know,
Sack, $20. Got a cool Toys R Us lightsaber.
Hell yeah! No, I would give this to you, but I got a whole cold motif.
Well,
you know,
actually, about you not knowing how to use a longsword. I have this poisoner's kit, and I don't actually really know how to use it very well.
And a lot of old moldy mushrooms.
That as well.
does using a longsword require you to use more like brute strength?
Depends. Like, normally, yeah.
Or is a
but-
longsword a finesse weapon?
No.
No.
I don't need to learn it.
Okay.
I like the lighter feel. It's I can get in, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not about like take down your shoulders. I'm more like, oh hey, there's your squishy bit.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm a little bit of both.
Yeah,
so-
you could do like a lot of fighting. Like you're really good at dueling. I'm more of like a, I'll shank you and run, and then I can freeze now. Oh, it's so good. Mario Sack, $10. Rip Toys R Us. Just remembered it and its giraffe
Yeah.
arm.
Oh, there it is. Why do I get it later than you? I was like, how did I miss it?
Because my surface is superior.
Yeah, Rip Toys R Us. That was a big sad.
Yeah, that was a big set.
Thanks, buddy, for the donations.
Well, thank you.
It's speaking to me. What is it saying?
Oh, he says thank you.
Strange. There is a companion in this mud.
It's a companion.
Are all of you equipped, well armed? Or do you require additional armaments? It is not one I would give lightly, and not one without its toll.
Do you feel like we need more stuff?
Huh?
Do you feel
This
like
is
we need-
great.
We don't need it, but no, I'm just kidding. We're probably good.
I know. I'm fully on that. We don't need it, but we definitely want it.
They say that it is dangerous to have. That it would take a toll.
On what?
Describe the toll.
What is the toll that would be taken?
It is a unique case, and one that I have no right to explain. There is a measure, to some extent, a curse, accustomed to it, but one that helps those like you to succeed. That is all I know of it. That is all it speaks to me.
Just that it is cursed.
That it has authority over your body.
Like you relate that to us?
Yeah, I would. I don't think we should.
I kind of want it. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't think we should.
We don't know what it is.
What? What do you mean?
If it's cursed, as they say, it says that it would control your body. Potentially.
Oh.
It has granted me some of its own history, and she holds it above the water, and it is an elven greatsword of elven design. It states that some elves, in its own time, caught wind of Narelius's plans in this realm. As zealots, they were sent here to end him, everything he was working with. This one in particular was felled in a way that allowed its spirit to become one with its blade.
Take the soul. It's elven. Is it like curved?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was a zealot. That's all he chooses to tell me.
I'm imagining those like in Lord of the Rings when they go back to the war and all of the elves have those swords they like spin.
Yeah,
forward.
I love
I'm-
that scene.
Yeah. I'm just imagining that.
Mhm.
Avarice, did you still want the helmet?
I don't know what it does.
Neither do I. But it has a lot of gems on
And it's sparkly.
Like covers her eyes.
it. Don't magic items tend to like magically like attack, like form to your body? Is that a thing?
Some of them do. That
With the
one
helmet?
Just letting
is
you know that-
large, but it works.
The frostband does require attunement.
I like.
So I'm a
shifted
two.
Not here.
What?
I'll reach out for the greatsword.
As you do, make me a wisdom save.
I have to make my own frostbrand now. Take the sword. Take the
He
sword.
did.
Hey, 19.
Yes.
Literally the best I can roll without rolling a natural 20.
Ooh, that sucks. Yeah,
Which means that it probably failed.
you take the sword. It is enormous and beautiful and unnaturally weighted. It's a +2.
Ooh.
I think you might regret that. 'Cause, no, not. I'll tell you. I'm talking to Logan.
No, I know.
Oh.
I know.
I'll tell you. You might regret that.
Oh no, I switched sides.
Uh-oh.
Okay. What other property does it have? Because I assume there is another property that it has.
It
Just to oversee your
your
cloud water
heart.
skin.
Hey,
It's
You
fine.
die instantly.
You would have to figure that out either through some sort of identification spell or by using it in combat.
Do you have it written down then?
I
Because
do.
I can't write it down if you're not going to
No,
tell me
I
what
do.
it is.
Is the dagger +1?
Yes.
Yeah.
+1, you can reroll an attack.
You hear a
for damage.
faint acknowledgement that sounds very much like a sword being unsheathed, like metal scraping across metal in a very beautiful and clear way. And what you get from it in a weird way, even though it's clearly metal on metal, it's not sentient, the noise that you're hearing,
Okay.
you feel acknowledgement. That's all you feel.
Acknowledgement
Of you as the one that possesses it.
Are we ready to go?
Yes, I am.
So is that thing like Supercast? Is it like talking
I-
to you?
Don't know.
Are you Altair?
Yes.
What was the first thing I ever said to you?
Probably something about us not knowing how gold works.
Aurelius disposed
Okay.
of it in a fit of rage. That's all I know.
Thank you.
I think that fits you better than a big old axe.
I can carry both of them. So,
Cool.
I can't do that.
Can I ask
Yes.
what life you led in the Fae?
I was a hunter.
Of?
Animals. I gathered food using the axe that I currently have on my back. Sometimes I would chop down trees.
You spoke a lot of your mother,
I've never met her.
nor did I. In a way, I like to think of her as my own mother. She was also a hunter. Which is the reason she entered those wastes. What he thinks happened.
What does he think happened?
All we know is she went in there to save you. And she didn't come out.
Is that the truth, or is that what he says? Like, did you see it?
He is my maker. Everything he says is true to me. Maybe that's not the same for you. But I believe it.
Well, let's go take out some black knights with our new cool shiny weapon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, are you done talking to that weird octopus thing?
Yes.
All right. Well, look, we're not gonna kill them. We're just gonna freeze them.
Stay safe. Yes. I will likely return someday.
I may not be here.
And I will turn away.
Bye, weird tentacle monster. See you later.
It doesn't understand you.
One of the tentacles rises out and reels back, almost like prepping for a whiplash.
Don't stop. You're probably insulting it.
Okay, probably.
You pull out your whip.
You're speaking in poop tongue. She hates that language.
Poop tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I'll speak in Dwarvish.
The arm flies out, cracks you in the jaw.
Slam cut to the outside of the castle. And just boo.
You speak in Orcish, she will leave and hunt you.
I actually know Orc.
Do you know what languages I know?
Huh.
Common and Infernal.
Hey.
I know more languages than you get.
Yeah, well. So,
Okay,
I don't know how to read, so
I'm
you got me
gonna
there.
I was a street rat.
send a message on our way out. That that's a
Scoundrel.
pig cat.
Take that. Just a little snack, guys. YouTube, don't copyright us, please.
Oh, yeah. So there is a way down, a way up, and there are a couple chambers to either of your sides. If you're trying to leave.
Let's go up because I have a grappling hook and I don't want to get wet because I have pepper on me.
You all leave at the very top of this room, seeing a few of the blood stains from your previous fights. The one with the bugbear, and the one with this owl person who is
What
no
happened
longer
with that?
here.
Did he leave just while we were resting? Or-
You did take a
So-
short rest.
Okay.
Makes sense.
You head up due north, and you find this arcing chamber. All of you are familiar with this chamber, and regardless of what angle it's at, you see the Chamber of Love, the area that you shattered the glass to, and the area that Olo,
That's the Chamber of Love.
a very oddly named room that seems to have a broken glass lookout.
Oh.
And here is the excerpt that I wrote. The Deep Father needs children to add to his people and has created a chamber of love to aid his followers. There is a broken glass lookout whose edges have been rounded. On nightfall, 2 to 4 people are sent to the chamber of love and the doors are locked. When the night of love ends, the male is told to leave and jumps through the hole, while the female sleeps on soft pillows.
Oh.
Ooh.
They have weird rituals here. And of course the library just above that.
All
Oh,
right.
of course. You know, put
Do you want to go to the nut room or the library?
So we don't have a cart or any horses, right?
No, we have a boat though,
You have
We
nothing
got
but
a
folding
boat, and I hold up the box.
and I can
Like
turn into a
Link.
horse.
Da-na-na-na!
With your mage hand.
Yeah. Minor illusion. It's glowing.
You guys slide down and you enter the what they call the Deep Father's Pride. It's something that you heard them call, and this is the courtyard that you fought that celestial tentacle being on.
Hey!
This is a courtyard that has 2 dead trees with an altar placed at its center. The 2 dead trees arc in a perfect, almost doorway-like fashion.
Yep. There it is.
There are blood stains coating the base of it.
Do you guys want some firewood?
I feel like if we burn that thing down, some wretched demon is gonna
Yeah, we shouldn't touch those.
wanna kill
Probably
us.
smart.
This is where we died, by the way. Right here. It was here.
Wow, I'm surprised you guys really don't want to tear this thing down.
Because I'm afraid of what's gonna come out of it.
I mean, we're not gonna burn it right now. We're gonna take it for the
Just-
road.
Leave it.
Yeah, I don't want to like cut it and then it like destroy part of like the portal that the thing came out of, and then we get sucked into it, and then we're stuck in the Fae, and there's all these bad guys.
Huh. Well, okay, fine. I won't kick it or anything. Let's go.
Yeah, don't do that. All right. Make our way out to the. That's like the courtyard. So if we just go out to the water's like right there.
The
right?
courtyard is touching the water, and you are in the overworld.
I
You
heat the boat down.
you
the
yeet the
hollow
boat
boat.
down, and you wrap around this crab that is posted into the seashore, and you leave this temple, this
Seashore,
manor,
seashore.
and the portal to the Feywild behind you. And you move forward inland, forgetting just about everything except for the few belongings that you've been rewarded by visiting once again.
Yeah.
Do any of you know where the fuck you're going?
No.
I have cartographer's tools, a spyglass, and I travel that way.
We don't have a destination.
Uh,
No, we do.
well, as of right now, I'm gonna suggest as Clayton. So, if you can look over there, you're gonna see two. Well, are we close to where we came out on that giant stone giant?
That's a little bit west.
Okay.
That's probably
The
maybe a
stone
week.
giant? That's like 30 days away.
It's about a week west.
No way.
If we go that way, there are footprints and stuff, so we could track back, and I could probably find the closest
yeah.
town that we passed by.
Yeah, man. There's like the island,
Mhm.
and then it's like 2-3 days. Then it's the main continent, and that's where like the giant and the statue is, and then like all the way around is the Sea Stalkers Cove, and that's 30 days, because we had to walk there, and then we boated there. Am I wrong? Because
Yeah.
That's how I have always known it.
So I'll have to show you guys the map, but essentially
That'd be
this
super
it's like the
helpful.
northern half of this continent, and there's like a little peninsula that darts like straight north, and at the very end of that peninsula is where that Titan is dead, and then a couple, maybe 1 or 2 weeks east is where the Sea Stalker Temple was,
Okay.
and you guys left from where that monument happened. That's where you found the Sea Stalker Temple.
Okay. So how far away is what's this place called? Lockheim?
Well, actually, I was thinking back. I have my cartographer tools. I'm not the best at using
You did
them,
actually chart Cothram. You know where it's at.
but there is a town closer that'd probably be a little bit better. And even if the Black Knights do own that town, they won't know me because I'm gonna use a different name. I'm probably gonna look a little bit different by the time we get there, and I've never been there before.
I'll go by Arthur Morgan.
Got it.
Just saying. There's one name coming to mind. Conrad. You know, that sounds like a great name.
Thank you. I'll actually remember and get it right now.
Well, do you know Conrad? I was a friend of ours.
Wait,
He went to heaven.
Oh, he
I'm gonna
did.
say
Came
that.
back.
He came back from
Never mind, just kidding. He revived his wife.
Oh, wow! They're such an old, nice couple. I met them. They were over in Arkenberg actually, and they moved out a couple years ago, and they went and are living
Good
on
to
a
know
farm
he's
now.
doing well.
Yeah.
A farm in Cothram.
Remember when he died?
Huh?
Didn't he die? And then he came back
Uh-huh.
with his wife.
He was
Uh-huh.
slain by a betrayal spell that melted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go.
Oh, right. One more thing. I'm gonna take out a piece of paper and write in the Perry cipher, because she taught us. That.
Oh yeah.
The Perry cipher.
Nicolas Cage will
patented-
decode it in like 20 years.
The patented Perry cipher.
I'm gonna
Dude,
write
they had to
down.
go through like 4 like levels of like technology to get to it.
Gonna go mess
love
with the
it.
Black Knights in
God.
a town north of Lockheim.
That's what you're fucking telling her? Okay.
Okay.
The Sea Stalkers are gone. And
BRB,
remind
my
me
fucking
when we
round.
meet
I destroy the
again
Black
to
Knights.
tell you about the 11th hour.
What was the last one?
It was the Sea Stalkers are gone, and remind me to tell you about the 11th hour when we meet up again.
What are
Okay.
you doing?
Can you send this letter to Perry? Perfect.
You drop it in there, and the two eagle-like wings unfold from it, and you see what looks like an arcane writing begin to glow in common, and it says, "Do you have a keepsake of the one I seek?"
You got anything at Perry's?
I don't know. Let me check. Oh.
I bet you do, because you like her. I
Do you
I
like
throw a
her?
dagger in between your feet.
Ah!
Do you like her?
No.
No?
No.
She's
I
a
don't really know her very
nerd.
well.
You think she's cute?
Sure.
I know. Okay, so I'm gonna take the map that I made while I was charting.
Okay.
As we were going, I'm gonna tear off a corner of it so it's still usable.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put that in there as well because that's her paper.
Yeah, you took that from her. Okay. All right. Fuck you. Yeah. He drops it in, and that writing fades, and the wings begin to flap. You let go of the strap. This weird fucking cylinder flies off into the air on wings
That's normal.
No,
over
it's
the
not.
ocean.
And then I'm gonna take out my spyglass. I have my cartographer set, and I'm looking at my map. Do you want to take a look at what's on the map?
I look at it.
Please describe it.
So,
I used to be decent at maps.
what was it? It's a giant, just stick figure with like 4 little tiny stick figures at the bottom, and then like a dotted trail going through, and then there's like the landmarks that are like drawn very very poorly, and then up in the sea there's like a big stick figure, but then there's like 2 little cross eyes in it, and then like a squiggle next to it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm using to get us to the town.
Okay.
Where do you go?
So we're gonna go back
You
to.
read that properly.
Huh?
Like you can read that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's this way.
Where do you go?
We're gonna go west towards the Titan.
Okay, so you travel along the beach?
Yeah,
Okay.
just on by boat.
We're going
it's a
to
little
Coltham, right?
faster.
Oh, you're going on the boat.
Because we're already on it, and it's just
Okay.
in that direction. And then once we get there, we're gonna land and take the trail back.
Okay. I'll say a little over a week passes. Do you guys all have the appropriate rations for that?
I
I
have
don't know.
a fishing rod.
Okay.
have
And
to
I
Eat
have
the fishing rod.
And I have
Yeah.
the Outlander feet.
I have
Well,
That's right, the feat
Actually
that just
pretty
lets
legit.
things happen.
6 days of rations and also unlimited patience.
Oh, that's right.
And also good berry.
You guys eat fucking the class abilities that stop me from describing how the game works, and it happens.
Dude, I ran a home game the other day, and they're level 2 and 3, and they can just survive. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I explained to Logan how broken level 3 revived rogue is.
Oh yeah, and I have.
Oh
my-
god, fuck. It's so bad. Level 3. Ooh.
For revived rogue.
Mm-hmm. It gives them like 7 class abilities at once.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
lets them have more tools.
Everything.
And
More,
then-
more tools, don't have to eat.
Resistances,
sleep, drink, or breathe,
immunities.
don't sleep. Resistance to poison. And
An extra attack that does damage.
diseases and like
Yeah.
so many things.
It's yeah.
But the rest, I looked at the
It's
rest of it.
poorly written. Hire some reviewers.
I mean,
Okay.
that's what North Arcana is.
Yeah?
It's
Oh, it's
literally what it is. It's not
No, that
North
was
Arcana.
official.
It's not official.
fuck you, Unearthed Arcana. You guys head west for a little over a week.
Okay.
And eventually you find something fucking beautiful. All of you have never seen it. If you're familiar with the scale of the Sin Father or the Sun Father over the island, this is about a fifth his size. It's not something that would take you days to scale, but it is still something that rises well above the horizon.
Okay.
You see what looks like a headless, titanic mountain of a man, made entirely of stone, standing deep into the water, well above his knees, but not quite reaching his waist. And you see him in a stance that looks like he is rending a stone creature in half. And as you approach, you see and you look up and you see that this thing has literally latched its mouth to completely envelop what would have been this Titan's head. And you recognize this disgusting humanoid face, as do you, Abris. This is one that has not just plagued your memories, but also your nightmares. This is the serpent that the old man told you would come for Abris if you hadn't acted. And you see it dead, turned entirely to stone.
Hey, check that out. And I hit my shield. Yeah, this is a scale. Help take that thing down.
You did?
Yeah, see how I have all the tropes? This is one of my best. I'm not gonna lie.
As you approach, especially with the scale, the detail is unmistakable. Either this is a masterwork craft to perfectly exemplify this disgusting creature, or it is, what's the word? Turned to stone?
Petrified?
Petrified. And rended in half.
I'm sorry, Sazek.
Who?
You remember when we were on that island?
No.
Not you. The old man made a deal with me. He told me that this creature right here was coming for you. It was going to kill you. I don't know why. He told me that if I wanted to protect you from it, that I had to kill Sazek. It's dead now.
Was Sazek your friend?
An acquaintance.
I liked her.
She was a kobold. She was trapped on the island with us.
Everest. No, he cares for you a lot because I've been in that situation before. Yeah.
It's okay, kid. It was a long time ago.
So, we're on this big squiggly, and we're
Yes,
gonna
that big squiggly.
yeah, we're gonna backtrack down these dotted lines, and these are the feet marks. And then you look over, and there's giant craters where the feet marks are.
They're
Ah,
enormous craters, each one about, what would I say? A little over the size of an elephant in its entirety, as a single footprint. Each one of them is spaced out a very long distance. Even though this creature's legs were very stout to accommodate its weight, they were still massive.
So we're gonna take this back till we are just in view of that giant tower, right? Or is it
The
before
Pillar
or
of Eyes?
Is it before or after that?
It's a little after.
Okay, so there's gonna be this big pillar. I'm gonna be honest, that entire
Sorry,
stretch of
after
it.
in reverse. So you will
Oh.
find it before the Pillar of Eyes if you're returning.
Okay, so this giant pillar is gonna like just come into our field of vision, and it should be around there. And by that time, I should be able to find a road or something leading into this town.
Okay.
Alright, sounds good.
We're off to go to the town.
Yeah. You move forward into the
Should we
thick.
roll survival or anything like that?
Nope,
No,
we
because you have a
actually-
druid.
Yep.
And
When
we
you have a
also
druid, you don't
we
need
also have
survival.
giant craters to
No. Yeah.
follow.
They're an exceptional guide. And after over a week of very quiet, determined travel, around you, the trees begin to rise in a unique way that not many of you are familiar with. You passed by, but it wasn't important because scale was something that was much larger to you at the time. But these trees rise almost a third the height of that titanic mountain that walked among them, which is still very unique for trees. Each one of them seems to be a rod of red, almost a cinnamon color. Essentially, you are walking in a forest of redwoods.
That's cool.
Are the size of these trees more like what I'm used to?
They do
Big.
actually compare. Not so much in width, but in height. It's very shocking, almost, that these are here.
I'm a secret Nevada, guys.
Does anybody have like a familiar or a bird or something?
I can turn into a bird.
You know what? All
I
right.
used to, don't anymore.
Because last time I wanted to get a lay of the land, I climbed a tree and then somebody sent their familiar up. So
Do you
could
want-
you,
Look at
yeah,
the wizard.
go check
I
out.
could turn
see if
into
you
a
can
very
find
large
road.
bird and I could carry you off.
Can you carry all of us, or can
It's
you
a
not
lot.
turn in?
It's
Yeah.
a lot of weight.
Okay, never mind.
Something unique begins to happen as you reach the thick of this forest, just continuing night and day, each cycle. Nothing surprising or terrifying faces you that you can't handle easily and without much force.
A bunny.
Yeah. Good thing I have a luck dagger.
Hey guys, dinner.
But the trees begin to vary in height, specifically into two variations. The ones that are almost 200 feet tall, and the ones that are about 9 feet tall. They're almost diminutive, like the rest of them. And they begin to grow more and more numerous in the area as you're striding through it.
Do I get a bad sense coming from up above? Or
It's unique. It's not necessarily negative.
okay. But
And as you're strolling through this area, of course, as you have many days before together, you begin to set up for camp. Where exactly have you been setting them up? Are you setting them in these craters or kind of off to the side?
Setting up what?
camp.
Yeah.
Oh, camp.
We'd probably set them up in between the footprints,
Yeah, in between would be best because we don't want to be like
out in the open.
out in the open.
And we'd probably keep the fire to a minimum, just in case any were being followed
Okay.
or anything like that.
How are you gathering firewood?
We're in a forest.
Okay. As you have been.
We're not gonna cut down any trees. We'll find like deadwood though.
Yeah,
Well, you
like
can
we're just
also
gonna.
go to branches and just.
That's
Okay.
what I was saying. I was just find deadwood.
So
You
Hawking.
don't want that. You want like dry, like
Yeah.
you know.
Most of the trees here seem to be pretty dry in their growth.
All right.
And in a lot of these craters that you're seeing, the giant very clearly destroyed large portions of this forest with each step.
Oh, and you know what? We could probably find some of the wood there.
Fucking,
Okay.
I can cast.
And what was it? I'll get the smaller twigs
Create
off the
bonfire?
branch with like my whip, and then do you still have your axe?
Yeah.
I have druidcraft.
I can carry both of them.
I have
so.
I have druidcraft, so we could get the firewood, and we're probably doing this every night. Go over and literally cat just snaps and.
Okay. So you gather some of the dead wood and you pull some of the limbs from the existing trees in the area. On this particular night, when you're in the thick of the forest, how are you gathering this wood?
Either picking up off the ground,
Yeah.
chopping
Well,
it off
the way
Gathering some of the kindling,
Yes.
as opposed to just the things in these deep craters that you have had some difficulty dipping down in and then sending up large hunks of
So-
wood.
I'd get like the smaller pieces,
Mhm.
she'd get the bigger ones, and then he'd light it.
Okay. Gathering some of the corpses of these trees. So I believe the two of you are dipping down in one of these craters, gathering firewood.
If we're
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You spend a bit of time searching around in these large, empty little divots, almost like battle arenas. It feels somewhat familiar to you. You're looking down, looking for some kindling to add to the firewood, and as both of you look up, something that wasn't there before is now a ring of trees. Small, 9-foot tall trees, all in a perfect circle, completely blocking your exit.
I'm gonna throw an alchemist fire at one.
Oh, hey! Wait! Don't, before you throw that,
Well, you're not.
Just-
You're
just-
not,
just-
you're not in there. Right? I think the two.
You
of
are
us-
waiting at the camp
got it.
Maybe-
Sorry,
for
I'm
them
not-
to
I'm
gather
not there.
firewood.
Maybe
I did
don't
not
do that.
realize.
And as you reach into your pocket to grab Alchemist's fire, we're going to end the game there.
Oh boy, we're gonna fight some trees.
Hmm.
We pissed off nature.
Yep.
I speak
Cool.
for the trees.
The trees say fuck off.
The trees say, okay,
The
boomer.
trees
Ha
say,
ha ha.
why'd you step on me?
You step on my brother with Big Mountain Man, now me eat you.
I'm like, good luck with that.
But yeah,
Why are you
that was a
crying?
game. Just like every game that I've run within the past 2 months, everything I wrote was completely irrelevant, but it was super fun. And
Welcome to DMing.
yeah, I think I'm just gonna write like one sentence before each game. We'll see how that goes. But this was super fun. It was cool. I'm glad
Yeah,
to give you all some items and
Definitely. Yeah.
learn a bit of lore. And now you're gonna fight my homebrew race of
Oh, no.
tree people.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
the
awesome.
Red
The
Lords,
tree
Awesome.
Atoa.
redwood people. Yeah, the
says tongue.
Triatoa. What are they called?
Nice.
green crowns.
That's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah. This is the first
What happened to
civilization.
Dragon Man? Dragon Man is fine. He's just in the other party.
If he's talking about 3Co, Dragon Man is
Oh,
actually
that guy?
working for the 11th Hour Alliance, I think.
That guy can.
What?
That guy is
Okay.
probably old as frick.
Yeah. So yeah, Tree People.
Woo!
Tune in not next time, but the one after that,
But we're
because
not playing next
and we're
week.
we
also
do
not playing
book
next
rules.
week.
Yeah, because fuck you.
Well, we
But
will
also,
be at PAX
PAX.
Unplugged.
if you're at
We're
PAX
there.
Unplugged or Butt Unplugged, I'll be at both.
Oh.
Butt Unplugged.
You're at that one.
It's actually really
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh
Also,
my god.
Nikki. Nikki was there as well.
Nicki Minaj.
Josh.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there tentatively might be a one shot on Saturday, but no.
That'll be cool.
No guarantees.
No
because I
carrot
need to-
tea.
We'll have Thunder next week because we're recording, it, on Monday,
So and we're missing 3 people I would get for a one shot, so I have no idea.
Tune in next time when I shit
There
my
might be
pants
one.
and blame it on a gremlin.
Cut it.
When I made
Thank
the
you,
race,
Mark, for the
hold
donation.
on,